science students. This is the continuation part of the chapter Biology and Human Welfare. So in my previous video I have talked about antigen, antibody, the concept of immunity and also the structure of antibody. I hope you have understood those. Now moving on to the next topic, which is types of immune response. Types of immune response. Now what is immune response? The response given by immunity of our body, or what forms our immunity? The antibodies of our body forms the immunity. So basically the response given by the antibodies against foreign particles which when enters our body is known as immune response. Now there are two types of immune response. There are two types of immune response. First one is humoral immune response. Second is cell-mediated. Cell-mediated immune response. Now this humoral immune response is effected through the production of antibodies by B lymphocyte, or in short we can call them as B cells, and cell-mediated immunity are formed by T cells. B cells and T cells, basically we can also call them as B lymphocyte or T lymphocyte. They are basically different types of WBCs, and they form different types of immune response in our body. Now in page number 118 you will find the detailed description of humoral immune response and cell-mediated immune response, but those detailed topic you don't have in your syllabus. Only learn that there are two types of immune response: humoral immune response and cell-mediated immune response. While humoral is affected by the production of B cells and cell-mediated by T cells. That much only is there. Okay. Next, moving on to the next topic, which is vaccine. So you all have heard about vaccine. Now the vaccine at the moment, the vaccine that everybody is talking about is the vaccine of coronavirus, right? So what is vaccine? Let me read out the definition from the book. Vaccine is a heat-killed antigenic preparation used to stimulate active immunity and to create an immune memory to a disease, to prevent the effect of infection by any natural strain of organism. So what is one of the important terms that I use? Heat-killed antigenic preparation. Now what does heat-killed mean? Means basically, I will talk about this later on. Basically, vaccine is a medicine which is being given in form of injections to a person's body, inside a person's body, injected. So what is the main component of this vaccine, of this injection? Suppose this vaccine for COVID-19. What is the main component of this? The main component of this is coronavirus. The main component is coronavirus. That means coronavirus is being injected in a person's body in form of a virus. Coronavirus is being injected into a person's body in form of a vaccine to prevent COVID-19. So doesn't this seem very weird that we are inserting this virus to kill this virus? Why and how? How will it happen? And even if it happens in some way, why does it happen in this way? Basically, look at this term heat killed. It means it is killed by heat. Killed by heat. So what does that mean? Means we all know that we sterilize water. We can sterilize anything by boiling, by keeping it in boiling water for a certain amount of time, and that will sterilize that item. It will kill all the microorganisms or pathogens within that. Right? That means heat can kill pathogens or microorganisms. So here the pathogen is killed by heat. What happens after that? The pathogen becomes weak. Pathogen that much of capacity to cause diseases in a person's body. So what is a vaccine? Basically it is a heat-killed antigenic preparation. It contains the pathogen against which it is made for. So that pathogen is killed by it so that it becomes weak and cannot cause that much of problem or that much of effect. Its intensity will become low and the person will not get ill. So what will happen when this pathogen itself gets inside the person's body? The antibodies, the natural antibodies of a person's body will be stimulated and they will come across something which they have never come across before. And this will cause them to produce, or this will help them to prepare and produce more antibodies when actually that pathogen, the actual pathogen in its full intensity enters the person's body. Okay, and by that time memory cells are there in our body which have remembered how this heat-killed antigenic preparation of this pathogen is like, and it will easily prepare antibodies against this pathogen when actual attack takes place. So we are basically killing the pathogen, killing a virus with the help of another heat-killed virus which is of low intensity. Clear? I hope I am able to explain you what vaccine is. Now moving on to who first introduced vaccine. The name of the scientist is Edward Jenner. He first introduced vaccine, and the term that was derived, the name vaccine was derived from the scientific name of smallpox of cow, which is Variolae vaccinae. Variolae vaccine is the scientific name of the smallpox of cow, and from this name is the first vaccine that was formed was of smallpox. So from the name of that, it is named as vaccine. Correct. Now there is a historical background behind the discovery of vaccine. You don't need it, but you can go through it. It is basically how Edward Jenner first introduced vaccine, okay, or first discovered vaccine. Basically, during late 1760s, when Jenner was doing some research work at that time, in England there was an outbreak of smallpox, and everybody was suffering from smallpox, but he noticed that only the milkmen who were in close association with the cows did not suffer from smallpox. So he tried to understand why is this happening, why only these people are not suffering from the smallpox. So he had this idea that the cowpox virus are already in them, in those milkmen who are in very close association with the cows for a very long time, and those cowpox virus is acting like a vaccine against this smallpox. So since this milkman already has cowpox virus in them, they are not suffering from smallpox. So later on he did an experiment with a 8-year-old kid who was not associated with the cows, and he gave the cowpox virus within him, and later on he found out that even though the boy was carrying smallpox virus, he was not suffering from the disease. So you can read this from your book, but these are not there in your syllabus. You just have to learn who gave this name and where this term is derived from. For your knowledge, you can go through the historical background behind the discovery of vaccine. Okay, so I hope I am clear till this much to you all. I will again continue with the different types of vaccine in the next video. Thank you.